wanna give some answers for this cancer. We need a cure. Am I the only one that's tired? Seeing my brothers and sisters die. Give some answers for this cancer. We need a cure.
A world so hungry for truth that now we call it the realest when someone identifies with their issues in life in a studio booth. But even in the midst of an emotional song, it still won't break you through. Because just identifying is no different than cancer. Because we know it's real, but without a cure, we give no life-changing answers. So we've all been a victim to some crime, some sexually abused, and others just wanted to be heard when they cry. Some verbally abused, and others manipulated to see life through the parents' prejudiced eyes. Living in the ghetto, a project, a hood. Don't gotta say it, but I will because I should. No dad because he was no good. Raised by dealers that made you feel you could be anything you wanted with the 9 of drugs. It doesn't take a genius to see American issues, and it's no longer just adults, it's even our kids too. See, we'd rather talk about a dream of a better world than to implement sacrifice for the future boys and girls. Rather live in denial, create mentalities of survival, argue with each other than to fight for a child. See, we need programs, we need equal rights, but before all that we need people who have pure love to help save lives. I just want to give some answers for this cancer. That's all I want to do. See? We need fathers picking up their sons from school, teaching them to be men with discipline and not just fools. Need these dads to embrace their daughters, stop the cycles of them giving their bodies, getting attention that should have been from these fathers, but instead they're being molded by boys or predators like potters. Oh fathers, oh fathers. Just want to give some answers for this cancer. Now to the women, I know you've been bottled up with hate, but I can empathize. When 1 out of 6 have been a victim of attempted or completed rape, I'm so sorry you've been neglected. It's so sad that almost 1 in every family's been molested and injected with insecurities, infected. But oh women, you're more than a piece of candy. You're more than an image to be kept handy for a man. You're the ones that die for taking stands. You're the ones that raise children when a man can't. You're the ones who raise doctors because you told your kids they can. You're a miracle maker like a wand was in your hand. Let me give some answers for this cancer. See, yes, the male dominance is real, but don't let that keep you concealed. Your tender love was given so we can heal. Without you, there would be no more population increasing. Without you, our world would only see through man's eyes, but lack the opportunity to reason. See, you're a mighty woman of honor. Take your place because you've been the father. You've been the provider. You've been honesty when men have been liars. When we gave up, you've been the fighters. So make your stand and be all you can. And if men want to kill you, then die with honor on your land. Because dying with dignity is worth more than being isolated from your destiny, being trapped in slavery. Use this bravery, because you've been given the power to help humanity.
Just want to give some answers. Just want to give some answers for this cancer. That's all I want to do.
Now let's talk about religion. You say, I don't want to be a Christian. Me neither. I'm a follower of Christ that has me living, not just theology. I'm a believer because this Jesus set me free. I was addicted to meth and cocaine. I seen death, but life came when I said his name. Just a coincidence, I can hear it in your mind. But what about the voice that said no when I had that 9 on my mind? Or when I walked to a bridge plotting suicide, God sent someone to say, hey, it'll be all right. When I was dying in my dad's arms from an overdose, he cried to this Jesus to save me and release me from that death hold. Now I'm alive, 26 years old. You're curious, but it's not enough proof, I know. But what about the time I couldn't walk no more? My father prayed for my legs, prayed for me to stand. I was paralyzed from walking, but look at me now, here I am, standing on my 2 feet. Am I forcing you to believe? I'll never. You've been given the will to choose freely. But we're talking about a cure for humanity. And this is more than religious spirituality. This Jesus brings hope, truth, love, and unity. He doesn't hate homosexuals or despise the rich. He doesn't come for the healthy, he came for the sick. The poor and those in need is where he would sit, reaching his arms and pulling us from the pit. So before you believe every word from an American Christian, let's remember early Christians killed our Native Americans. They brainwashed families, preachers raped kids and left them tragedies, taking money from families in poverty, selling them a verse out of text, promising prosperity. You say, finally, someone real preach. But let's remember, in our world, we have all these things: the raper, the killer, the thief, the liar, the hater, and the ones full of greed. But even in our world with such violence and hate, there's still some who care enough to embrace, care enough to feed the hungry, care enough to give their hard-earned money to feed a hungry child's tummy. So, if that's true, then know there's disciples of Christ who really walk you through, who really choose to love, who really encounter this God we imagine is above somewhere in the sky. But really, Scripture says He sent the helper to abide within, to share this gospel that cleanses sin, mine and yours. So this forgiveness is our cancer's greatest cure. If it brings reconciliation, if it brings us to a heavenly place one day, a final destination where there's real peace, real love for humanity. I just want to give some answers for this cancer.